Welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, we are looking at something you literally look at every single day, but you probably completely misunderstand it. Think about your skin for a second. It's so easy to just dismiss it as this mundane bodily wrapper, right? Just the basic packaging keeping all the important stuff inside. Well, as we're going to see today, that couldn't be further from the truth. Let's dive right in. Get this, 16%. That is the massive, staggering scale of this organ. And yes, your skin is absolutely an organ. In fact, it is the largest organ in your body, making up an incredible 16% of your total physical weight. So, the next time you step on a scale, just remember that a huge chunk of that number is literally just the interface between you and the outside world. To really wrap your head around how expansive that interface actually is, picture the number 1.7. If you were to somehow take an average person's skin and lay it out completely flat on the floor, gross, I know, but stick with me, it would cover roughly 1.7 square meters of ground. It's just a massive, continuous surface area wrapping right around you. Now, before we get into what this massive surface actually does, we need to quickly define it. Your skin is the absolute foundation of what's called the integumentary system. But this system doesn't just stop at the skin itself. It intimately incorporates your hair, your nails, and all these specialized glands and nerves. So whenever we talk about skin today, we're really talking about this vast interconnected network. The architecture of this whole system basically relies on three foundational anatomical layers. You've got the epidermis right on the outside, the dermis in the middle, and the hypodermis underneath. And here's a really fascinating detail. The thickness of these layers varies wildly depending on where it is on your body. We're talking from just 0.5 millimeters at its absolute thinnest all the way up to 4 millimeters at its thickest. Here's our explainer roadmap for today: sensing, protecting, regulating, and finally, more than skin deep. Section 1. Sensing. Every single day, your skin's huge surface processes hundreds, if not thousands, of physical sensations, and it relies primarily on Merkel cells. These are large, pressure-sensitive skin components that essentially act as your body's frontline receptors. They are quite literally how you actively perceive the physical world. And to really grasp the sheer density of this sensory network, let's just look at a single square centimeter of skin on your fingertip. Just a tiny, tiny patch. In that tiny space alone, there are 750 Merkel cells. And they don't even work alone. They're coupled with over 2,500 other receptors, all working together to give you your sense of touch. The takeaway here, your skin is a highly tuned data collection instrument. Section 2. Protecting. Think about it. Without your skin, you would literally just be a soggy mass of tissue and fluids, completely and fatally exposed to the elements. Your skin effectively seals off your insides, but it also takes an absolute beating. To counter this, your skin utilizes flexible collagen right there in the dermal layer. This acts as a natural shock absorber against physical impact and pressure. It's essentially built-in bubble wrap protecting your internal organs. So let's see how this actually builds a dynamic defense. Let's trace the microjourney of cells called keratinocytes. It's kind of like a conveyor belt. Step 1, they form at the very base of the epidermis. Step 2, as new cells are born, these older ones get pushed continually upwards. Step 3, on this upward journey, they fill up with a hardened protein called keratin. And finally, step 4, once they reach the surface, they form a tightly overlapping, impenetrable, waterproof shield. And the absolute wildest part? This entire wall is completely replaced every 4 weeks. But what happens if something actually breaches that waterproof wall? Well, if invading microbes make it into the epidermis, they immediately trigger an incredible security relay. First, they encounter Langerhans cells. These protective cells detect the invaders, basically acting like microscopic perimeter alarms. They then communicate this threat to resident T cells. These T cells get the alert and immediately launch an active immune response. It is a highly coordinated search and destroy mission happening right there on your skin. And there's a really fascinating truth about this defense system. To quote our source directly, these skin microbes keep the immune system in a state of constant surveillance. You see, an absolutely crucial feature of your skin's immune defense actually relies on several thousand species of microorganisms, bacteria, and fungi. They thrive in sebum, which is an oily substance secreted onto your skin from glands in the dermis. But rather than hurting you, these resident microbes ensure your immune system is perfectly primed, sharp, and ready to react when a real threat comes along. How cool is that? Section 3. Regulating. Our thermal regulation responses are highly mechanical. This whole system is directed by your brain, which communicates with the nerves in your skin.
When you're too warm, your localized blood vessels physically expand to release heat from your blood, and your sweat glands secrete sweat via ducts onto the surface to cool you down. Conversely, when you are too cold, those blood vessels tightly constrict to retain that heat, and tiny muscles called erector pili cause your hair to stand straight up, which is exactly what gives you goosebumps.
And the sheer efficiency of this temperature regulation system is incredible, sitting at 25%. Yep, at any given time, up to a quarter of your entire body's blood is actively circulating through the dermis layer of your skin. Having so much of your blood right at the surface makes transferring heat out of the body or retaining it within incredibly fast and effective.
And this is where hair plays a really pivotal role. The average human has 5 million hair follicles embedded globally, basically everywhere except your palms and the soles of your feet. Roughly 90,000 to 150,000 of those are concentrated right on your scalp to shield that large surface area from physical damage and sunburn. And, like we just discussed, when those erector pili muscles pull them upright, all this body hair actively traps your body heat close to the skin.
Section 4. More than skin deep.
I really want to leave you with this final, thought-provoking quote to close out our explainer today. Skin's vast surface isn't just a shield. It also enables us to interact and connect with the world. Really think about that for a second. Its multifunctional layer cools us down, it keeps us warm, it physically holds us together, but most importantly, it allows us to feel and navigate the space around us. The integumentary system really is many things, but it's certainly far more than just skin deep. So it leaves us with a pretty compelling question. If your body's outer wrapper is this active, this intelligent, and this complex, what other hidden superpowers are operating inside of you right now?